This is the Lowco Sports Lowdown Podcast. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett and Wes Kerr. All right, Loco sports fans and football fans, because it is Super Bowl week. We're just a couple of days away, and we've got one of the guys that will be cheering along by my side this weekend, fellow Chiefs fan and former Chiefs defensive back Ron Parker. You know him as a Beaufort High School legend, Newberry College Hall of Famer, and you saw him play for the Chiefs for a few years. We had Ron on during the Eagles state championship run, and we haven't been able to talk to you since they won that state championship. So we'll talk a little bit about that too. But how excited are you to see your guys go out there on Sunday and try to bring home another Super Bowl title? And, you know, for Andy Reid, who was near and dear to you, this one's extra special going against the Eagles. So, you know, how you feeling about this one, man? We got this?
Oh yeah, man. I'm feeling good about it, man. Anytime those guys can make it this far unexpected. I don't think no one expected them to be here at this point of the year. It's a contribute to Andy Reid, like you say. He's one of the best coaches that ever coached a game, and I think that we'll be ready, man. The experience, but I know we're pretty experienced. The former team that he's playing against, the Eagles, he's been there for 14 years, so it's a lot of history back and forth. And I know some of my old trainers, like they was at the Eagles with Andy, so it's a lot of history back and forth, man. But I think it's going to be a great show.
Yeah, and a lot of storylines, of course, into what's going to happen on Sunday. I want to hear your thoughts about what captivated you with this team throughout this playoff run, especially that thrilling AFC Championship game over Cincinnati.
The thing I think about this playoff run, man, I think the guys was a little extra motivated because it was a lot of people going up against them, and I think this is the first time in years people just actually went against the Chiefs. I had people calling my phone for bets against the Bengals last week, and I had never had that the whole season. No one would call my phone because it's almost automatic. You know what I mean? But when the playoffs start, everyone was kind of, doubting the Chiefs. And I think that was a chip on their shoulder, man, and that gave them extra little motivation, especially when they got to Cincinnati. I think they was itching to get to Cincinnati until that point. So that was the drive of the trash talking early on a couple months ago when Joe Mixon was out here just speaking and a little fire. And I think that's what gave them boys the little spark and got them in a position where they're at now.
They should have never started that Burrowhead, man. That stuff, nah, they weren't having that. Frank Clark, he was not having that.
You can't disrespect the best game. I think you do that in any sport, I think they're going to respond. You know what I mean? That's why they're the best. So tribute to Pat, man. He's a dope quarterback.
Yeah, I think with Mahomes, I think you're onto something there. I think he, more than anybody, had a little bit of his chip on his shoulder this year because everybody acted like he wasn't going to be able to be the same guy without Tyreek and that kind of stuff. Like it was all about the weapons. And, I think he proved this season that it's not necessarily about the guys he has around him. He finds a way to make magic out of whatever he's got. But, what kind of sense do you have of him? Obviously, you didn't play with him for very long, if at all, right? Like he was at the tail end of your career. But what sense do you have of the kind of player he is? And he's kind of laid back and goofy at times and stuff, just kind of doesn't take things too seriously. But there's a competitor in there. You can tell that when he locks in, man, he's on another level.
Yeah. I played with Pat for 2 years, and he started last year in Kansas City. So I had 2 years to be in the building with him. Great guy, a lot of energy, and he's like a kid, man. He's like a kid just back at home in the backyard, just love to play and kind of really don't take nothing serious. So I guess that's why he got that demeanor and his swagger about himself, because he kind of, how some people can be uptight about the situation, but he just, the way he carry himself, man, he had fun. And like those guys play around from the time they walk in the building to the time they leave, man. So that's energy, and with that, man, that they feed off of that, and I contribute to Pat, man, for just coming in there every day with a chip on his shoulder, just not showing no sweat, man, and coming in there handling his business.
I look at championship teams across several different sports, and it seems like the ones that win the title seems like they're the ones having fun. Like they take it, they have nerves at times, but I think the thing that is common for a lot of them is that they're playing the game they love and they're playing to have fun. And you kind of see that emanating with Patrick Mahomes. It kind of feels like schoolyard ball at times. Just his incredible abilities to make near impossible levels of throws on the field. So I mean, it's a pretty fun atmosphere to be a part of, and that's really cool for it to kind of be a sponge and pick up what Mahomes was doing throughout the early stages of his career, and then to continue following him now after getting to know him for a bit. So that's kind of cool, and he's got a heck of a weapon with him in Travis Kelce, who has really become such a larger than life figure on this team and in the league. Just his passion, excitement on and off the field, and his skill. I mean, he definitely has started to make a case as one of the greatest tight ends that the sport has ever seen. So just your thoughts about him and all the energy that he shows on the field, off it, the excitement, that passion for the game. It's really all there, and he's just become the heart and soul of this team, along with Mahomes on offense.
Oh yeah, Kelce, man, he's the best tight end to ever play the game. I played all my 6 years in Kansas City with Kelce. Great guy, man, phenomenal athlete. I can't say enough about Kelce. I've been trying to guard Kelce in practice for a long time. And when I said he gave me work and he made me fight, scratch, claw for every inch to defend him, man. Something special. I never seen nothing like it, and he's a go-getter. And the guys feed off of him. He come in the game, get a couple catches, and get the guys going early. And I think they feed off of that because the way Kelce just come in there and he just figured things out. You can't guard him in zone, you can't guard him in man. I think his experience just got him so comfortable in that offense and just figuring out those holes in the zone. Him and Pat just got a incredible bond, man, that can't be stopped.
Yeah, they were actually out here during COVID playing mini golf at the Pirate Island over on Hilton Head. That was pretty funny together. So
Yeah.
Our guy Jabias was over there working and tipped us off on that. But tell me a little bit about this defense, because you did, it's turned over a good bit, but you played with a few of these guys, especially the guys down on the defensive line who really have done a terrific job this year. And you've been watching, your heir to number 38, the Jadarius Sneed, and this young secondary. I've been really impressed with the way they've turned it on in the second half of the season, especially Watson. He's been terrific in the playoffs. But what do you see on this defense? Who are the guys that are still around from your time that are leaders now? And what can you tell us about them? And what do you think this defense can do against the Eagles and Jalen Hurts?
I think it starts up front, and the leader who I was there with him and Chris Jones, the big factor at that D line. He plays a big part of the whole defense. Everything starts up front, and Andy let it be known from the beginning of the year in training camp that when it get late in the year, we're gonna win because of up front. So I think Chris Job do a good job of leading the whole group. They feed off of his energy. He's a funny guy. Off the field, he's love to joke, love to have fun, crack jokes, and I think a lot of guys just, like I said, with that, from other guys seeing that, it makes you loosen up as a player. Chris Jones just make everybody feel better when he's on the field and give them that sponge where it's like, okay, I know I got my guy up front. Just let me do my thing in the back end and cover for 3 or 4 seconds, and not even 4 seconds. And I know something got to happen. So I think Chris starts with him up front and goes back to the secondary with number 38. He's a jack of all trade. He plays his role good. He plays inside the nickel. He's played outside in the outside corner, and he move around. He blitzes. He move around in the defense, and I think they do a good job with him, and he do a good job himself of just making plays in big time games. He always shows up when it's time, and I'm glad we have him back for the Super Bowl. And the secondary starts with him. It starts with him for making plays, and it goes back to the two safeties, the new safeties we got, and the young rookies. Man, they're just playing lights out. They've been every week from week one. They've been improving, and for them to be playing the way they're playing now at this time of the year is incredible. And I tip my hats off to the coaches, because it just don't happen like the way it's happening now with them boys. Gelling, and for them to be there playing in the big game. Special hats off to the coach and the secondary coach for just giving those boys the confidence to let them go out there and make plays, man. That's dope.
Hey, Loco sports fans. This podcast and all of our grassroots local sports content are made possible by support from community sponsors, including Mickelson Law Firm, the official real estate attorneys of Loco Sports, and the presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage. Our original sponsors are still among our greatest supporters. Ryan and Tiffany Mickelson are community pillars who will be in your corner no matter your legal needs. When you need legal representation, call on the attorneys who support Team Lowco. Call Mickelson Law Firm. Hospice Care of the Lowcountry, the official hospice provider of Loco Sports, and the only not-for-profit hospice in southern Beaufort County. For more than 30 years, the committed, compassionate staff at Hospice Care of the Lowcountry have been there to ensure your loved ones find comfort, honor, and dignity at the end of life. Because at Hospice Care of the Lowcountry, it's not about dying, it's about living. Homegrown Home Inspections, the official home inspectors of Loco Sports. Jan Lucas and his team provide thorough, detailed home inspections aimed to ensure everyone goes into the transaction with open eyes and confidence. Jan would rather reveal an inconvenient truth than look the other way and provide reassurances that could come back to burn the buyer in the long run. If you're looking to buy or sell a home and need an honest, reliable inspector, call on Homegrown Home Inspections, official sponsors of Loco Sports. DDS Web Design, official SEO experts of Loco Sports. If your business or organization has a website and you're trying to figure out what SEO is, you need to call on Denise and Dave Sinkovich at DDS Web Design. They'll provide a free consultation and do all the behind-the-scenes work to boost your search engine optimization and get your website found online so you can take your business to the next level. DDS Web Design, official SEO experts of Loco Sports. American Wood Reface, sustaining sponsors of Loco Sports. Does your kitchen need a facelift? Before you start picking out new cabinets, give Ben and the team at American Wood Reface a shot. They can reface your existing cabinets to overhaul your aesthetic without the hefty price tag and reimagine your kitchen at a price point you can manage. Be sure to tell them Loco sent you because every referral helps support Loco Sports. 4M Metals, sustaining sponsor of Loco Sports. Got metal? Your roof might need it. Metal roofing advantages include better energy efficiency, weather protection, longevity, a more aesthetically pleasing design, and the product is all green. So if you've been thinking about a new roof, go metal. Let 4M Metals be the difference in your roof. Jay's Barbershop. It's the talk of the town and the place to be in Ridgeland. If you need your ears lowered, head over to Jay's for a fresh cut and great conversation with good folks. And tell them Loco sent you. Local Pie, official pizza sponsor of Loco Sports. They sling some of the best pies in the Loco, and my kids say the mac and cheese is the best around. Hungry? Hit up Local Pie, longtime supporter of Loco Sports. Hilton Head Prep is a sustaining sponsor of Loco Sports, and we tell you all about the Dolphins' athletic exploits. But did you know it's also the #1 ranked private K-12 school in Beaufort County and ranks in the top 2.5% of schools nationwide? Visit hhprep.org to see what Hilton Head Prep has to offer. Beaufort Academy is a sustaining sponsor of Loco Sports, and we love covering the Eagles. With a student-to-faculty ratio of 7-1 and an average class size of 14 students, Beaufort Academy could be just the educational solution you're looking for, with more one-on-one attention. BA has a strong history of working with the whole child to prepare each student for college and life. Check them out at BeaufortAcademy.org. Thank you to all of our sustaining and supporting sponsors for their support of LocoSports.com. Go Loco.
Yeah, I think, seeing them go up against A.J. Brown and that elite group of Philly wide receivers, I think that's going to be a key factor in how that game unfolds on Sunday. But you were around Andy Reid for a long time as your head coach. Just tell me about, what makes him elite in the coaching ranks. What has made him elite throughout his, of course, time in Philly, getting the Eagles to the Super Bowl back in the day, and now doing it now 3 times with Kansas City. Just tell me about, what he's meant to this organization and what captivated you about the way he coaches and leads this group of men.
He means everything to the organization, man. I think they do a good job of just him just thing. Andy is a great coach, and he gave me the confidence to go out there and play. And it starts with he be in the building at 4:30 in the morning. The one thing I can say about him, he's advanced, man. He stays ahead. He stays one step ahead of every coach I see that he plays against. Every week he always coming with a great game plan. And from what I see, I'm like, I asked him one day in practice, like, man, how you come up with these stuff? One week you got this play, and then the next week you got the same looking play, but it's something just a little wrinkle that just look different. And I think he does a good job of that and just staying the course of keeping up with the game. Like the game has improved now with the RPOs and all of the quick receivers. And I think Andy does a good job of just keeping up with the game. That's what a lot of coaches, they fall behind in, but he always a step ahead. And he's just an offensive guru, offensive genius, and he's just so smart. He's ready for everything that you throw at him. So with that, he's so experienced too. That take him a long way, man. And just letting the guys be themselves. I think every guy on the team can tell you that the reason why they like Andy, because he just be yourself. He come in there and tell you, just be yourself. Don't try to do nothing you can't do, and just go out there and play ball, man, and have fun. And once you get to understand him and see where he's coming from, you come to practice every day and work hard. He let you be yourself. Then you will take off, man, and want to play for him.
Yeah, I mean, I've been so happy to have him coaching the Chiefs all these years, because like it kind of felt like he was like a Hall of Fame coach at the end, maybe just come in for a few more years and then hang it up, and he's had a terrific run here and really kind of, I think solidified himself in history as like a Chiefs coach instead of an Eagles coach, and definitely beating the Eagles would be the topper on that. But I'm curious what you think about the OC situation with Bieniemy. He's been a guy that somebody should hire as a head coach for years now. And he interviewed with the Colts, I think. Do you get any sense that maybe he's holding out and that he and Andy have had talks about, Andy being close to the end and Eric taking over? And would you support that? Because I certainly would as a fan. I'd love to see him stay with the organization.
Oh, yeah, I support that. He was on the coaching staff when I was there. Eric Bieniemy is like I can say, one thing I can say about him, with every guy respect him and every guy for 100%, he's going to bring energy and passion every single day. So that's the one thing I do love about him, man. He was one of the first guys when I got cut the last time he came back in the building. He was the first guy like, oh, shucks, I got my guy back in the building. You know what I mean? Just the energy and the way he make people feel. You know what I'm saying? I think, I don't know why he haven't had his shot yet, but I think the opportunity is actually knocking right at his door. I don't know what's going on with them and why they're not giving him opportunity, but I definitely think he deserves a shot. And if he's just sitting over there waiting for Andy to make his move and maybe slide in the driver's seat there, that wouldn't be a bad move either. I mean, he's been up under him for some years, so being under somebody like that for some years, you can't have nothing but experience and to learn some great stuff from a great coach.
Yeah,
absolutely. Well, you hung up your cleats a few years back after a terrific career in the National Football League from the Lowco, and another legend from South Carolina recently hung up his cleats as well, and that's AJ Green, terrific wide receiver, played some time with the Bengals, and then went to Arizona. One of the best at his position over the last decade plus. Just tell me your thoughts on the career that he had and just the legacy that he's left in the league.
What an incredible career, man. Just played for a long time at a high level in the NFL with some of the best that ever do it, and he stayed at the top of his game. I salute to AJ, man. That's a friend of mine. Played against him in Somerville in high school coming up, and from playing against him in high school all the way to NFL to see his career go as long as mine and even longer. I tip my hat off to him, just taking care of himself mentally, taking care of his body. And one thing I noticed about him when I got to know him once we met in the league, hard worker, one of the hardest workers, you know what I'm saying, I've ever been around when it comes to, he's just gonna put all his time into the work. And his hard work showed. And I think he had a great career, man. And that's I'm very happy for him and I'm blessed career, and I can't wait to see what he do with his next future.
Man, he was a phenomenal basketball player in high school too. Just unreal to watch him on the basketball court. I remember seeing him at a Hilton Head Seahawk Holiday Classic where he just lit it up one night. It was crazy. But you've got your own things going on now. You got a trucking company. What all you up to these days now that you're retired from football? Some of the biggest names in basketball are lining up to get lined up at Red's Barbershop.
Thanks for taking time out your busy day to do this with us, man. I appreciate that.
Oh
How'd
no,
you
I'm
get
not
how'd you
busy,
get the
man.
word?
I'm just hanging out, man. It's Tony Red Brewing, dude. I grew up on Red. What y'all talking about?
I don't know if you know. Yeah, you probably do. I went to your pregame meal,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know if you remember this. Louis Orr and
Mm-hmm.
Eddie Morse got into a fight.
Wow. They
Got into
always was fighting. They were roommates.
okay, and they got into an argument.
Grab a chair at Red's Barbershop and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts so you don't miss the next appointment.
Nothing, just still running the trucking company, just spending my time in there, trying to get into a little commercial real estate every now and then. But just dealing with the kids, man. I got two boys and a 13-year-old daughter. She's into sports now, and they just played in the championship basketball game yesterday and lost. But that she been keeping me active with her, and I've been just supporting her. She played volleyball, playing basketball. Now she says she want to run track or do softball. So I've been just keeping up with her and just raising my little man and just staying out the way, man, and trying to be a family man and watch them grow, because now that I got time that I from playing, I can actually just spend the time with them and, be there for them and take them to school and watch them in all the events and practice with them and stuff like that. So that's all I do, man, and hang out with the kids, be outside, trying to get them right and get them ready for the future.
I feel you. I told you earlier. I'll be listening to this. I'll be listening to this Super Bowl on the way home from a gymnastics meet in Florence. So that's how we do it in the dad life.
Well, the last time we talked to you, man, it was before Beaufort High's state championship game with Powdersville. They go over to Columbia and they get the job done. They bring home the Locos' first public school state championship in over 70 years. How excited were you to see your Eagles get the job done and take home that title?
I was super stoked for them boys, man. I was super stoked and super happy for especially for the head coach. Good dude. He does a great job with the team. Does a great job with just bringing everybody together and having the guys play hard. I was so happy for them boys because that's something the city needed. We haven't had a state title in so long back in Beaufort, and the city needed that, and we needed that for the high school, just to let everybody know that we still here. And I think we still here for a long time to come. They just showed everybody in the world that we here for a long time to come, and I'm happy for those boys that they was able to get that just from coming up short the year before last. I mean, I'm pretty sure they feel it hurt, and they had a little salt and they a little salty taste that they had to get rid of, and they did a good job, man. And I was proud of them boys. They went up there and performed at a high level and killed it. That was dope.
Yeah, unbelievable. And something that I mentioned to Casey Fields after the game that I don't know a lot of people really thought about, but that last state championship was pre-segregation. So we're talking about the first high school football players in public schools in Beaufort County to win a state championship who are of color. I mean, that's like crazy historical and pretty heavy moment. But being there in that atmosphere that night and seeing just pure joy and elation from those guys. It really brought home what a team effort, what a story it is. It's a war. It's not just you got to win so many battles to get to that mountaintop. So, what does it felt like? What is that moment like when you reach the end and you've won a championship? I mean, obviously not many guys get to experience it. But what's it feel like when you win that big game with your brothers and get to celebrate in that moment?
Oh man, all the hard work and all the time, the hours that you put in from just watching the film, just doing all of the work behind closed doors that nobody get to see. You get to see that come to the light on those big days and those big championship games, and that bring all the guys together. And that's the beauty of it when you do get there and you do win it. It's beautiful, man, and it hurts so bad because everybody that put in that blood, sweat, and tears is here, and now that you're getting rewarded for it, it's like, man, you can't believe it. You know what I'm saying? It's like a dream come true. So it's one of those things that it's like, okay, man, I just had a dream in reality, and it just happened in real life. So it's a blessing.
No better feeling in life. Absolutely. Just so proud of those kids, and they earned that moment. So congratulations to those Beaufort High Eagles once again. And two of them are guys that we thought throughout the year were the key catalysts and Colton Ferris and Casey Fields. And I love the potential of both of them at the next level. I mean, especially Casey Fields with what he showed with just the explosive quickness and athleticism. What he did moving over to running back. And I got to think, I mean, good luck sleeping on this kid because he is going to be a star, I think, at the college level.
Oh yeah, the sky is the limit for Colton and Casey. I think both of those guys incredibly athletic. They can play offense, they can play defense, and I think they're gonna find their niche at the next level. I think they're gonna be hungry and gritty, and they're gonna be sleepers for sure. I think they're gonna have great careers and they're gonna be great men in the future.
Yep, absolutely. Well, thanks so much, Ghost, for taking a few minutes with us. We appreciate it. Love your insight on the Chiefs and Andy Reid and all that stuff. And we always love talking with you, man. You're a great representative for the Lowco. Really proud of your story. You know, rising from kind of being overlooked and ending up in the junior college ranks out in my homeland of Kansas for a little while, and back to Newberry and grinding until you got to the top, man. We're really proud of you, and really proud of guys like D. Delaney, who's still out there grinding and making it happen too, and Puna Ford having a great year. So it's really cool to see some guys from the Low Country making it on that level. Do you see any other guys from around this area that are coming up that you think might have a shot at the league?
Oh yeah, they got a couple of guys that's in middle school and young in high school and still on the Eagles team right now. I just think they're gonna have great futures. Like I said, the sky's the limit for those kids, and now it's just opening up their minds, being that they just won a championship. So it's gonna bring a lot more kids out, and now they're gonna see all the talent that Beaufort got. And I actually think that there's gonna be a couple of guys, man, that make it to the next level.
I'd say about inspiration. You can get there from here, and you proved it. Delaney proved it. Puna Ford did. Now all these kids gonna want to follow and you guys' footsteps.
Oh yeah, man! Shout out to D and Puna, man, for finishing the season strong and healthy. Salute to those boys for still putting on for the city, man. I wish them boys the best of the rest of their careers and keep doing their thing for sure. I love those guys. Love watching them guys go out there and support them boys from here on out till they done.
Well, we already got your commitment to come back on after the Chiefs win the Super Bowl. So if you want to hear more from Ghost, you got to root for the Chiefs this weekend. We got to get him back on the show next week, talk about the Chiefs' big win in the Super Bowl. So thanks again, man. We appreciate you, and we'll definitely talk to you soon, hopefully next week.
All right, man. Appreciate it. You guys enjoy the game.